Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 70 of the Kiss Army Thinks podcast. My name is Xander.
My name is Daphne.
I'm so glad to have everybody here. I am so exhausted from work, and I know you had a long week as well.
Very much so.
So if you guys are like us, you had a long week, get ready to have some fun. We're going to relax and talk about our favorite band, Kiss. This episode, we have some bad news, we have some good news, and then we just have news. So, a little bit of everything today. But it's going to be fun no matter what. So, thank you everybody for joining us. As you can tell, we just can't let Halloween go.
Not yet.
Even though it is November, we're still got leftover Halloween hangover, if you will, because
I just started taking decorations down today.
yeah, and we love Halloween.
Yeah.
And if you guys couldn't tell, then you probably didn't watch our Halloween video. We decided to do Dress to Kill this year, and it was a whole lot of fun. We decided to kind of, film a little bit of the putting on the makeup and getting ready, and so if you guys haven't seen that, definitely check it out because it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then, of course, subscribe. That way that you can keep up with all the content that we're bringing, because if you think that once Kiss stops touring that we're done, you're wrong. 2024 is going to be fantastic, I can guarantee. But right now we're in 2023, and so let's talk about our Kiss Spotlight. Daphne, do you have something that you would like to share with us? What you've been jamming to?
I do.
I have no leads. Usually sometimes
yeah.
I can get a feel for what you're listening to, maybe if we listen to it together, or if I catch you humming something, but I have no thoughts this week.
Did not let anything on this week.
No.
So mine is one that I've definitely done in the past, but I just cannot help going back to this album this year in particular.
Okay.
And that is Carnival of Souls.
Oh, for sure. Okay.
I just love it.
I was going to guess Kiss Unplugged. Not sure why.
Unplugged is fantastic, and that's been definitely one of my hyperfixations in the past. But this year, I don't know why, but it's Carnival of Souls. I just think it is... I know I've said a lot about it before, but I think it's musically the most interesting album they have. I just love it. I know a lot of Kiss fans don't, and I understand some of the reasons, but again, musically, it's just incredible. It's basically, to me, it's almost like, I feel like I've said this before too, but it's like a harder Beatles album, you know? It's like a heavier,
very dark and gloomy.
Yes, it's like,
as opposed to your yeahs.
Well, but I mean later Beatles, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like
okay.
it's like a psychedelic rock album, kind of, but heavier.
Yeah.
Because there's so many songs that are so dreamlike, kind of, even the heavier ones. And the songwriting is just so good. And I know, Gene and Paul have made comments before about how they don't particularly relate to a lot of the songwriting, but honestly, like, a lot of people do. Like
oh yeah, I do.
Those like kind of darker, more introspective kind of songs, like, they're relatable to the average person. Like, maybe not to Gene and Paul, who are, not that they don't have their own problems, but they are famous and wealthy and, kind of have it made in a lot of ways. So they might not relate, but, like, we do. And
it never goes away.
No.
Like, that song is really good. I mean, I know that, like, we often listen to Kiss for the good times and the good stuff, but that song talks about the things in life that you can't control.
Yeah.
And the evils that seem to happen every day. That
yeah.
In the midst of all this fun that you can have, there's always a darker side to life that you can't control.
Jungle's a lot like that as well. Like, I've had such a moment with the lyrics on
I was gonna
Jungle.
say, I think Jungle is the song that's like that really opened your eyes to
that
Carnival
album.
of Souls.
Yeah.
Because we were listening to Kiss 40.
Yeah.
And that came on Kiss 40, and you were like, wait, what is this again? I was like, this is Jungle. And you're like, man, this is really good.
Yeah.
And that got us on like a carnival kick.
Yeah, and like, not only does that song just slap, like, it's fantastic, whether you listen to the lyrics or not, but you do listen to the lyrics, and it's really just talking about, like, just the range of humanity in the world, and, like, how some people don't have problems and have it made, meanwhile other people are dying alone, and you know what I mean? It's just very deep. And I think all the songs are. I Will Be There is one of my favorites recently.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It is musically just one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard. Like, the guitars, oh my gosh.
See, that's a song that, like, when people say
gorgeous.
People say that this album is contrived and that there is nothing authentic about this album and that it's just forced. And I'm like, that song was written by Paul to his son.
Ugh.
About his son, about how, Paul never wanted to be a father, never thought he would be. Now that he is, it's the only thing he wants to be, and I will be there.
You can feel
I will
that
be there
emotion.
when you call. I will, it's a really good song.
It's beautiful. Paul's vocals on this album, as well as just the instrumentation, I think, I say it every time I talk about this album, but, Bruce put his everything into this album.
Bruce showed up, yeah.
And it really is a Bruce album to me. I will never get tired of how good and how vulnerable I Walk Alone is. I just love it.
That song I slept on for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think it was because of the monotonous vocals that Bruce brings compared to, Paul's vocals, which I'm so used to, Paul's loud, high-pitched, crazy vocals.
Yeah.
So when you hear a voice that just kind of stays in one range, to a Kiss fan's ear, it may not resonate. And so at first I kind of just wrote it off. And it was Jeb who actually, said, no, you need to go back and, focus on that song and really, let it unfold.
Yeah.
And it's one that I think, this year especially has really grown on me.
It's fantastic. And In My Head is another really, really good one that, lyrically is a lot darker, but relatable for a lot of people. I love it. I have a lot of Kiss songs or Kiss albums that I listen to when I just want a fun, feel-good time, but I feel like you listen to Carnival of Souls when you want to feel something, you know what I mean? Or when you have things to process.
Sure.
And it's great. Sure. I love it.
At some point, we need to do a full album review.
Oh, yeah.
Because, we've done, this is our 70th episode, and we've only done a handful
not many.
Of actual album reviews. I think Kiss Alive 4, Monster.
Look It Up recently.
And then you and I did Look It Up.
Yeah.
And that was really fun.
And that was really fun and made me fathom Look It Up for the first time. So I would love to do that with more albums.
It's interesting when you listen to an album knowing you're going to talk about it versus I'm just going to listen to it and then sort of internally you just instinctively yay or nay.
Right.
You listen to it and you're like, okay, it either is good or it's not good and it's just whatever.
Right.
But when you know you're going to be forced to talk about it and you have to form your own opinions.
Yeah, you analyze it on a different level.
You really notice the music, and Lick It Up was an album that really stood out.
100%.
And I think it definitely made its way into my top 5.
Yeah.
If we were to do a top 5, I don't know that. I think Hot in the Shade was the one I would have. It would either be Lick It Up or Animalize or one of those albums.
Yeah.
But that's just so good.
Look It Up definitely climbed up my list during that whole discovery process as well. And honestly, this year, Carnival of Souls has easily made it into my top 5.
Well, and Crazy Nights is one more. That's also
oh yeah, that was already in my top 5.
Yes. But but you listen to it and it just stands out even more.
Yep.
Again, I've heard all these albums my whole life, but I love them even more now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not oh yeah, I was really into that album, one summer. It's no, I'm into all these albums all the time.
Yeah.
And they just keep getting better and better.
100%.
Better and better. So does that conclude yours for...
Yep.
I feel we could almost do a full album review right now.
We really could. It's so good. And to me, there are no skips on Carnival of Souls. I think it's just...
There's no skips on any Kiss album for me.
Well, and I understand that, but I don't know.
It's a good album.
I have a hard time even picking favorite songs from that album because they're all so good in their own way.
Yeah. 2023 is the year of the carnival.
Yes.
The year of the crazy night. Lick it up. It's crazy lick it carnival.
Of Souls.
Of Souls. Absolutely.
So what's your spotlight?
So I think last week, or actually no, when was the last time we did a podcast? Why does it feel like it's been forever since we've done this?
It's been at least a couple of weeks.
I guess it has been because we did
2 or 3.
Because we did the Halloween video and then the Kiss Meets the Kiss Meets the Fan.
Oh yeah, so it has been a minute.
That was a butt whipping. So yeah, I guess it has been a while. But it just feels like it's been forever since we've done this.
Yeah.
So, but even so, the last spotlight I had was Monster.
Yes.
Well, guess what? Boom, Monster. Still I've been listening to it nonstop. I think we talked about seasonal listening last time. And Monster, for me, is just a perfect fall Kiss album.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I should have been listening to Creatures of the Night because October is also Creatures and Hotter Than Hell. No, it was Monster pretty much all month long, and that's okay. I enjoy the album more so than most fans, I think, just because it has that sort of, it came out in 2012, it was with Tommy and Eric, and, blah, blah, blah. After the farewell tour, whatever. But the songs, to me, that whole album is just, it's timeless, but not in the way that we usually think. Like the first Kiss album, for instance, is totally early 70s rock. You know what I mean? You could place that in 74. And then Crazy Nights, of course, is total 80s.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Carnival of Souls, total 90s,
Yeah.
grunge, that dark, garage band sounding album. But Monster doesn't really sound like any of those or Sonic Boom.
Right.
Sonic Boom was the modern Kiss album that blended, I think, the modern day with the 70s era and was sort of able to bridge that in a way that I didn't think was possible. And so you kind of expected that to happen again with Monster, but Monster was its own thing.
Yeah.
They billed it as a follow-up to Sonic Boom, which I guess it makes sense considering that it was the same, lineup and it was the same approach.
Mm-hmm.
But sonically and musically, they're just completely different albums.
Very different.
And personally, I like Monster more, even though I do think at this point that Sonic Boom may be the stronger album.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it's just the guts and grit of Monster that you didn't get with Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom was very nicely done, and it was, very tight and, played very well. But Monster was just like a literal... I think of it as Kiss turning into a werewolf and ripping out their clothes. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, let's forget all that, let's shed that, and let's just be Kiss and be us. I feel like if they were to just plug in and play Monster live, it would sound just like the album.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's less, like, polished production-wise than Sonic Boom.
Whereas, like, Crazy Nights or Psycho Circus or, even Destroyer, some of those albums, when they play those songs live, you can see, okay, here's where the production really served them well.
Yeah.
And then here's where it's, stripped down live, whereas Monster is just that album where it sounds the way it is no matter what. Again, I feel like they just plugged in and played and they wrote and recorded a rock album. It wasn't something that they were like trying to overthink and overdo. It was just do it and be done with it. And so I wish I could explain why I love the album more. But as for the actual songs, some of the songs that stand out for me, Shout Mercy, I think, is one of the best tracks on the album. Paul's material was very strong. Last Chance is one of those. Last Chance, I think, is very underrated. I don't think it's the last song on the album. It's very short compared to a lot of Kiss songs, but I think that's why it packs such a punch, is because it is the last song on the album and it wraps it. This is your last chance, to get it right. Do your dance on the edge of the night. So I love those lyrics. I love the music. It's like I said, it's very short, so it doesn't draw out. Every note is just perfectly placed the way it is. It even almost sounds like at the end when it trails out, it gives you just a little bit like you're wanting more.
Yeah.
Like when I first heard the album, I can think back to telling Jeb, they're going to do another one. Mm-hmm. Because if you listen to Last Chance, it doesn't end with a clear punch.
It's a fade out.
It's a fade out, and then you hear the hum, and then Eric goes, dun, 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 and then there's a guitar scratch. It's
that
like
really makes you ready for
a little
what's
bit
next.
more.
Ugh.
And it kind of makes you think that which I guess there was the song Right Here, Right Now.
Right.
There was, Samurai Sound, which I love.
Well, and
there was a whole live album.
At the time they were intending
At the
to
time,
make more.
it seemed like they were going to do more music until they realized that
wasn't worth it.
The fan support wasn't there.
Yeah.
And the rock and roll, support. Like, most people, even if you're not a fan of, a diehard fan of Ozzy, you may go buy Ozzy's new album. But it was like, if you're a diehard Kiss fan, you're not buying the new Kiss album. And if you're not a Kiss fan, you're also not buying the new Kiss album.
Yeah.
So nobody bought those albums. And so Kiss was like, all right, well, we'll just stick to doing what we do. And, we'll do the same set list and the same show. And that's what folks want. That's what folks get. So I would have liked to have seen a follow-up to Monster. But what we got was amazing.
Yeah.
I think that the third one would have been incredible.
I can't even imagine what it would be.
The third one would have been... See, I have some complaints, and maybe at some point we'll do episodes like that where we get a little candid about Sonic Boom and Monster. Or at least I will. But I would have loved to have seen a third album because it would have been a perfect blend of Sonic Boom. It would have had the production value and the polished sound that Sonic Boom had, but with that same grit and speed and intensity that Monster brought.
Yeah.
Because some of the songs on Sonic Boom just felt kind of like, not like slow, but they were a little bit, I'm not sure what the word is, but just one speed, I guess.
Yeah.
As opposed to songs like, Back to the Stone Age, where it's just very upbeat and driving. Same with Last Chance. Love that. Shout Mercy is just like a car on the freeway.
Yeah.
So those songs I really loved, and I would have loved to. I want to hear the demos that didn't make it to the album, because I read somewhere where there was like 30, 35 songs written for Monster, and then there was only going to be 10 on the album, and then it got changed to 15.
Okay.
And then it was finalized at 12.
Oh my gosh.
So we got the 11 or 12 plus the bonus song, but that's like
I at least
half,
want those other few.
that's half the material. Yeah, that's
crazy.
3 less or whatever than what was going to be on the track.
Yeah.
Versus like half the material that was actually considered or written or started. So I want there to be a Monster box set.
I agree. I think
that
we
would be
need
it. Probably
Monster Vault tracks.
It probably won't happen, and it won't happen for a long time. But yeah, the Monster Vault tracks would be insane. Those demos, I would love to hear that.
That would be awesome.
So that's my first Kiss spotlight. My second one actually came as a surprise because I was on Instagram and realized that in October, another release that we celebrated the anniversary of was Live to Win.
That's what I thought. That's what I was expecting, actually.
For sure. Yes, Live to Win is my second Kiss spotlight. Even though it's not Kiss, it's Kiss adjacent. I love Live to Win. Again, I don't think it gets the love it deserves.
No,
Everybody
it does not.
always looks at the 4 solo albums and refuses to even look at Live to Win, which Live to Win has some amazing songwriting.
Incredible.
Amazing vocals, amazing production, and amazing choruses. Amazing melodies. I mean, the whole album is really good. And I never heard it until I was a senior in high school.
Wow.
It came out in 06 or 04 or whatever. And I didn't hear it. I think it was 06. Came out in 06, and then that one live Kiss was 08.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't hear it until 2013. And when I heard it, I was like, this is amazing. Finally got it on CD, and then that's why I jammed 2 in the car. And yeah, it was just fantastic. You know what's funny is that earlier you were talking about some lyrics from Carnival of Souls, and how, you listen to that album and you want to feel something, and those lyrics are kind of deeper than what you would usually get on a Kiss album.
Mm-hmm.
There's some lyrics like that too.
Oh, on Live to Win,
on
for sure.
Live to Win.
For sure.
The closing track, is it Where Angels Dare? Yeah, Where Angels Dare. It's like, it says, some people live forever, some people just run out of time, some people live in darkness, others give up before give up before the line or whatever it is. So there's lyrics about how, kind of like Jungle, where, life is, there's all different aspects of life and lives that people live, different perspectives and different choices that we all make. And so, yeah, I just thought that was really cool. But the album Live to Win is definitely, I think, more in line with Paul's 78 solo album than most fans would even consider.
Okay,
most fans would think that just because this album has, no makeup on the cover. Right. It doesn't sound like that 70s sound because it's not the 70s anymore. That it just somehow is totally different. And on both albums, Paul was pulling from his personal life.
Yes.
A lot of those songs on his 78 solo album, he was writing about the women in his life, the relationships that he was having, the turmoil that he was going through, the love, the breakup. We all go through that, right? And that's why music resonates with us.
Yeah.
So Live to Win was kind of the exact same, where he had just gotten over a divorce.
Yeah.
And, had gone through the farewell tour, divorce from his marriage and then divorce from his band.
Yeah, it's a lot of big life changes all at once.
And was, putting the band back together, and then started painting and was finding himself through painting. So this was definitely I don't want to say tumultuous, because it ended up doing pretty well for Paul. I mean, he's married again.
Yeah.
The band is better than ever. So, I mean, like, life, works out.
But it has ups and downs, and
life has ups and downs.
And he was through some downs.
Yeah, he had gone through some downs and was working on that way back up. And so I think he really brought that across with this album. I mean, Live to Win, I think, in and of itself, is a hit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we could say any of those songs from his first solo album were hits.
Yeah.
Because the single didn't really do that well. And even though, we love some of those songs, none of them really reached... like New York Groove became a hit.
Right.
That was a hit for Ace. None of Paul's songs, or Gene's, or Peter's, were hits. Live to Win is a bona fide hit. I'm not sure if you knew this or not, but South Park actually used that for one... And that crazy?
That's so random.
South Park actually used Live to Win for one of their specials, Make Love, Not Warcraft. It was about World of Warcraft.
Okay.
And Live to Win was like the theme song.
Okay. That's so random, but I love it.
And people actually know that song because of South
that?
Park. They don't know it's Paul Stanley.
That just blew my mind.
And they don't know that he's from Kiss.
Yeah.
Unless they look into it and go, oh, really? Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
But people know the song Live to Win because of South Park.
Huh.
It was huge. It was
That's interesting.
Huge. Of course, it's a huge show, but it was a huge special. And I don't even know how that came to be, if Matt and Trey asked Paul, or if it was a Comedy Central and a UME thing. Whatever it was, it happened, and it was really cool. But that song became a hit. And it kind of makes me wonder, could it have been a hit for Kiss? Because this is 06. Sonic Boom is in 09. That's 3 years. I look at it like it's two separate eras, like it's decades apart.
Yeah.
It's 3 years apart. That's less than one.
Crazy.
That's less than one kid going through high school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's crazy to me. So Paul's writing all this amazing material in, I'm not sure when they were written, but let's say 04, 05, comes out in 06, and then he's writing material again a couple years later for Kiss. It's like, what would it have looked like if some of this material had been on Sonic Boom?
I can almost see "Live to Win" being a Kiss song.
A "Live to Win" would have been.
The message is really in line with the message of Kiss and a lot of Kiss songs.
"Live to Win," had that been a Kiss song, and had that been on South Park, that would have put Kiss back on the map.
Yeah.
But because it was a solo song from one of the guys in Kiss,
nobody cared.
Nobody cared
who it was.
Other than the context it was in for that one time.
Yeah.
But I just can't help. But I was listening to this like, man, he was in the pocket and I don't know who wrote. I'm not sure who he wrote these songs with, but if it was just him or if he had somebody else. But yeah, no, I would have loved to have seen some of these songs on Kiss Out. I mean, All About You, Bulletproof.
Bulletproof is my favorite.
It's Not Me is incredible. Wake Up Screaming. So I just think that, the Kiss Spotlight's going long today, but there's a reason because we're talking about some of this awesome music.
Yeah, that's a great album.
I'm going to stick this right here. I do kind of want to get a little stand now, just because I've brought it out. What was your Kiss Spotlight?
Carnival
of Souls. I'll go ahead and do the same thing for you.
Awesome.
Maybe not.
Okay.
I can't find one. But anyway, so that's the Kiss Spotlight. It ran long today, but that's because this is a band. I love their music, and we talk about the music. So that's what always kicks off the episode is Kiss's music.
Yeah, just celebrating it. Yeah.
But this episode was supposed to be a review of the Ace Frehley show in Brown County, Indiana, at the Brown County Music Center. But unfortunately, last minute, the concert was postponed.
Yeah.
Not sure why.
Same day.
Same day, night before, it was postponed, and we were ready to go see Ace. Jeb was going to come down and see us. A good friend of ours actually bought the tickets for us. We were going to miss the show, unfortunately, because we couldn't swing it, but a really good friend of ours was like, no, you got to go see Ace. I'm going, you're going. We're all going to meet up. And so, unfortunately, that was a bummer that we couldn't go see Ace, but hopefully everything is okay.
Yeah, we don't really know the context of
didn't really
why.
hear any word on health or if he had the flu or COVID or if there was a family emergency, which of course that's his business. But there has been no official statement as to why the show was canceled. And as a matter of fact, it wasn't the only show that was canceled either.
Really?
If I had my phone, I would totally look it up. But we're using my phone to film, so I'm gonna try and see if I can find the image real quick. Yeah, so it wasn't the only show that got canceled. So Frankfurt in Kentucky was canceled. Anderson, Indiana was canceled. And then Nashville, the show that we were going to go see, was also canceled. Now, they actually have been rescheduled. So that's good. Because at the time, they were not... They
have been?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
At the time, they were not rescheduled.
This is my first time hearing that.
Yes,
good.
Yes.
Okay.
So the new show for Indiana is January 27th.
Okay.
So we do have to wait a few months.
Well, that's just...
a couple months to see
about
it.
2.5 months. That's not bad.
But... It's whatever.
I'm just happy it's been rescheduled.
It's been rescheduled, yes.
I feel like I'm just traumatized from all the COVID shows that just in general any artists that were postponed and then never rescheduled. You know what I mean?
Willie Nelson.
Yes.
I lost so much money on that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's exciting to hear that just a few days later they've officially been rescheduled, and I do hope that everything's okay with Ace. Obviously, like we said, we have no idea why. Hopefully it's not anything big.
It was one of those generic due to unforeseen circumstances.
Right, yeah.
So you never really know. But not only has our show been rescheduled, but the other two as well. So if you were going to go see see Ace in Frankfort, Kentucky at the Grand Theater, it's now been rescheduled until January 25th. And then Anderson, Indiana, Paramount Theater is January 26th. And then our show is the 27th of January. Okay. So he'll be playing three shows in 3 days in a row. So,
They're all very close to each other, though.
Yes.
So it's not like he's going to be traveling like crazy those 3 days.
No, but hopefully...
But we are the third out of three.
But we are the third, so which means Ace he'll be the most worn out on our show, so...
I'm excited, though.
I'm excited,
It's going to be fun.
I'm not looking for a Kiss show.
No,
I'm not looking for...
I'm just looking to see Ace.
I just want to see Ace.
Yeah.
I want to see our friends.
Yeah.
I want to see Jeb.
Yeah.
Gosh dang it, I haven't seen Jeb in forever. So, yeah, it's good to know that at least they have been rescheduled. One thing I was kind of thinking about, maybe as to why he would have rescheduled, he is releasing a new album.
Is he? I didn't know that. Okay.
So this news just came out, just was official. So Ace will be releasing a new album in February 2024 called 10,000 Volts.
Oh, nice.
Doesn't that sound good?
It does.
I'm not going to lie, folks. I have not been interested in an Ace album in a long time. I mean, there's a reason why we don't do Ace coverage on this show, just because it's not that interesting, and I don't like to be negative and look at negative things. And I've heard people, just like with Kiss, people have said so many negative things about Ace and Ace's shows that I just can't be bothered with it, So if I don't like something, I just won't bother with it. But I am excited to hear that Ace is releasing new music. It's going to be an original album. The last couple were covers albums, Origins, which I know for some of his fans was amazing. I heard nothing but good things about him.
Yeah.
I wanted to hear more originals Ace, so I kind of, passed them by. My favorite Ace song is Outer Space from Anomaly, and that was 2009, so if that gives you an idea how off I am. But no, I got kind of bored with the whole Space Invader, space this, space that, and just kind of coasting off of his Kiss, which I get it. That was his character and his identity, and so it makes perfect sense. But I got a little bored with it, a little stale. But 10,000 Volts, man.
Yeah, that's a cool album name.
That's like Shock Me times 10,000. You know what I mean? Like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That name sounds great. He's also written every single song with Steve Brown from Trickster.
Okay.
So if anybody's a fan of Trickster, Steve Brown has been helping him co-write some songs, and maybe has helped in other ways. I'm not sure. But that, to me, is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because as we all know, two heads, better than one. Gene and Paul, better together. You and I, better together.
Yep.
The audience and us, better together. So to hear that Ace is writing with somebody, and I hear it's going really well. Of course, Ace isn't going to talk about his own album.
Right.
But the way he's talking, he's saying, all these songs came out great. If I had something... and he didn't, then we would just put my work with whatever he could come up with. If I was stumped, he would have something. It was a very symbiotic,
nice.
Very give and take process.
Yeah,
I thought that's fantastic. Apparently, it was going to be called Walking on the Moon or something like that. Walk on the Moon, and that was going to be the title. Until they wrote one more song called 10,000 Volts.
Oh, and they were like, no,
and that's the name of the album.
I love when that kind of thing happens.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's fate. That's how you know.
Yeah, and that's like an organic. That's not what we planned on, but this is
exactly.
it.
They planned on having it be called Walk on the Moon.
I like that.
And they could have said, no, it has to be this, but no, they made a change. They went with the cool name. And honestly, the name right now is what's getting me.
Yeah.
Because, an album name will set the tone for you. Space Invader, I was like, okay, sounds like another space.
Here we go again.
album. But 10,000 Volts sounds like I'm going to get shocked with some heavy metal. You know what I mean? Shocked, exactly. Yes, pun intended. Very much intended. So, not sure on the exact date, but Ace's album is coming out February 24th. Let me know what you guys think. Are you guys excited to hear another Ace album? What did you think of Origins? What's your favorite Ace album so far? He's done some great stuff in the last. Anomaly was 2009, so it's been over a decade now. He's been consistently doing music, so it's been really fun to hear Ace's album or Ace's music. So we'll get a fresh dose come February, and maybe he'll play a new song.
I know, that's kind of what I was thinking. With our shows being at the end of January, I wonder if there will be at least a single or two out by then. I don't know, since I'm not that familiar with his release style. I don't know if he does singles or not.
Yeah, he does.
Okay, so I feel like less than a month before the album release, it's a potential that there would be a new song or two out. So that would be really cool.
I think that'd be amazing.
And something that we wouldn't have gotten if we had gone the other day. So
yeah, exactly. I think it'd be so cool if we were there and he said, okay, this is a new song off the upcoming album.
Yeah, or even something that's not out yet.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, this is a single or an unreleased track.
Yeah.
Just to hear a new song from the album that nobody's ever heard live, or hardly anybody's heard live.
That'd be cool.
That's special, So maybe he canceled some of these shows to finalize the album, and then to do some, some prep and some marketing and some promotion for the album, because obviously, if you're going to do an album, you might as well play shows closer to the release date.
Right.
It just makes more sense that way, as opposed to playing now and then coming back again
a few months
and
later,
being like, oh, by the way, why not just... So I get it, I mean, there were some fans that were, myself included, that were kind of upset and bummed that we didn't get to see Ace, but we will. It'll be in the new year.
Yep.
It'll be after Kiss, so we can focus just on, the Kiss tour. Focus on that, and then we'll have Ace to look forward to in 2024.
Yeah.
We've never seen Ace.
No, we haven't.
Not just himself, by himself.
Right, and we did get the awesome opportunity to see him at an Indianapolis Kiss Expo a few years back. And, we met him and we got to watch him perform on stage with some other folks. So that was really cool.
Oh, yeah.
But that was not a formal Ace concert. That was just kind of a fan event that he was participating in. So it's going to be cool to see him in concert.
Yeah, and I missed, of course, Originals Kiss.
Right.
I saw Peter Criss, but Ace wasn't there. So I've seen Ace live only in that expo capacity.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, Eric Singer, Bruce Kulick, Bob Kulick, Todd Kearns, all of them together, was insane.
We are so lucky to have seen that. That was incredible. And we were so close to the stage, too.
So,
I miss Expos.
Yeah, I miss Expos too. I hope they come back in 2024, 2025. They have to. I just feel like it'd be right.
It's gonna happen.
I'm hoping that's what Kiss does next. If they're not gonna tour and do big shows like that, they should do small like 5, 10, 20 dates all across the U.S. or the world. Yeah. Where they have, and one in Indianapolis where they have a Kiss convention.
Yeah, that's what I'm choosing to believe is gonna happen.
Our fantasies are gonna run wild come 2024. Anyway, so let's go ahead and move in now to some Kiss talk, because obviously, like I said, Ace, this was going to be an Ace episode, an Ace review. That will happen at some point, just not now. So we can look at the Kiss world map. We are following the Kiss world map and have been for the last few episodes, crossing off shows as they happen and following Kiss for their the remaining shows of the End of the Road tour. And in the last show, we crossed off Cincinnati, I think. And unfortunately, a lot has happened since then.
Yeah.
We are now crossing off the Detroit show, Cleveland, Nashville, St. Louis, Fort Worth, Austin, Palm Desert, and then tonight, when we're filming on the 3rd of November, they're going to be in Los Angeles tonight.
Wow.
And then I think Seattle on the 6th. So...
already so many shows crossed off.
A lot of shows crossed off right there.
We're getting way too close for comfort. And I'm not liking it.
That Seattle show on the 6th will actually be the last U.S. show until they come back for the last time.
Right.
So between the 6th and 21st, they're going to be in Canada. They're going to do their finishing up Canadian dates. I know Pasquale, our friend Pasquale, is going to see some shows.
Oh, yeah.
And a few others are going to see some shows. So that's awesome, but yeah, you're right. It's getting way too close. I was on KOL looking at the remaining dates. I can scroll in one click.
Oh no, don't say that.
That has never happened.
Well, and the fact that
has never happened. I've always been able to just scroll endlessly.
Yeah,
and there's just dates, Kiss concerts, and I'm just looking for the one nearest me. And now I can scroll from top to bottom in less than one click, and it's not okay.
No, and the fact that it's officially November now is really what's getting me as well, because our last Kiss shows are this month. This month.
All of ours are, unless you're going to see them in New York.
Exactly. Yeah, this is it. This month is it.
This is the last month to get all you can take.
We have a few weeks. That's it.
It's crazy. It still doesn't feel real, but also it feels very real and not in a good way.
No, it's starting to set it in a very bad way, actually.
And I think it's just because I'm going through my thoughts. You know what I mean? I know that once it happens, it'll be fine, and then afterwards, life will still go on.
Right.
Even though I'll never buy Kiss tickets again for a show, and that hurts to say. I mean, life will still go on. And, Gina Paul will still post,
Yeah.
and they'll still be doing things and make appearances
Yeah.
here and there, and, all that. So, again, not the end of the world, but it's just so weird that...
Not the end of the world, just the end of the road. Sorry.
That was really... I want that on a shirt. That was really good. It's not the end of the world, but it is the end of the road. That's the quote of the day right there. Bittersweet. But, yeah. So, I wish I had more to say, but that's where we're at. So, we're going to be seeing them. Your last show will be in Indianapolis, 25th.
Yep.
Gainesbridge Fieldhouse. And then Jeb and I are headed up to Rosemont with all of our podcasting friends to see the boys and girl.
Yes, and Emily.
Emily Graziano will be joining us. That's going to be awesome. So we will all be in Rosemont for the last show. And we're still going to be passing out buttons and still going to be passing out things like that. So
yeah, still doing the Kiss Spotlight project. So
yeah, I got to get going on that.
Exciting things happening.
I'm so busy right now. Like, it's just between the Kiss Meets the Fandom and trying to edit all these videos. Yeah, I got to get on the Kiss Spotlight, the Project Kiss Fan Spotlight, and get on the printing out and cutting up and all that stuff. So yeah, again, if you're going to be in Indianapolis or Rosemont, definitely try and find us, even if you can't. Bring your own paper, colored paper.
Yeah.
We all know that fans like to, put their lighters in the air and their flashlights and all that, and so it'd be cool to have some colored paper to put in front of your flashlight to have it shine, red for Gene or purple for Paul, or I think I'm going to do green for Eric for, the Catman.
Yeah, definitely.
And have that during Beth.
Absolutely.
And, we're just going to do whatever we can to make these last shows special. I know there's other people out there that's also passing out buttons and things like that. I actually just got some buttons from Rick. I wish I had them with me. Where are they? Could you, in the back there, where the wax pack is? Yes, that one right there. Yeah, so in the mail, I got a really cool gift. So I'm a huge fan of the YouTube channel It's All For You Demon.
Yes.
Rick's videos are fantastic. They're so immersive. And he actually sent me a button with his two dogs, Large Marge and Pee Wee, on them, and then it says "We waxed there."
I love it.
Because the wax basement and wax night and the wax pack, that's his shtick. That's his thing. So he sent me this really cool button that says 12/1, 12/2. Of course, that's the New York show. He's going to be in New York.
Awesome.
So I made sure to send him one of mine. And yeah, of course, Rick is the author of the Wax Pack Kiss newsletter. I am waiting for the next one.
Yeah, it should be soon, right?
The winter one should be. I think. See, we never did get a fall one. So I think he skipped the fall edition.
Yeah.
In order to get to the winter edition, where it's the end of the road.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one.
I think he's gonna print testimonies from fans.
Cool.
That have sent in little paragraphs about what Kiss means to them or their history. I know I sent mine in. So if you guys want in on the Kiss Wax Pack action, you want one mailed to your house.
It's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. So if you also want one, check out Rick's channel. It's All For You Demon. There's a video he did where he talks about his new Kiss fanzine, and then in the description he has his address where you just send an envelope to him, and he'll be sure to get one to you, or just instant message him on Instagram. I guess that'd be easier to go on Instagram and be like, hey man, I want one of these. But no, I'm very excited for the winter edition. It should be coming out pretty soon. I always love Kiss fans and their projects.
Yeah, same.
It's so much fun.
It's what makes this community so special.
It really does.
Yeah.
And so, we're getting involved with our buttons and our Kiss fan spotlight. So yeah, join in on the fun, guys. I hope to see some people in Indianapolis and in Rosemont. And even if you're not, take these ideas and bring them to your shows.
Yeah.
If you're going to go see Kiss on these last several dates, make it the most fun you can. We're going to try and do a vlog.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure how it's going to work out, because sometimes in the past I've tried to, but then it becomes more about the cameras, and it becomes more about, is my battery charged and is my SD card cleared, and that's not what it's about. So if all goes as planned, I do want to do some sort of video package.
Yeah, we'll be able to document something, I'm sure.
And document something for both Indianapolis and Rosemont. But anyway, just wanted to do some tour updates there. We'll be seeing Kiss 25th, 27th. Right now it's the 3rd. Kiss has some Canadian dates before they come back to the States, and then it's home stretch.
Yeah.
Baltimore, I think it's Indianapolis, Baltimore, and then the two shows. Or no, I'm sorry, excuse me. Indianapolis, Rosemont,
Right.
Baltimore, and then the 2 shows in New York.
So
And that's
there's
the
only
final
one
5.
there's only one city in between your last show and New York. That's crazy.
And that's Baltimore, and
That's crazy.
That's wild to think about. So we're gonna be seeing them in the final 5,
Wow.
which is gnarly. And so thank you guys so much for joining us. This is usually the part where I would show some Kiss merch if I had any.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I did get a message from KOL saying that my Psycho Circus merch was going to be pushed back.
No.
Which is a bummer because that was forever ago, I feel like.
Yeah, I was going to say, I already thought that you should be getting it by now.
That was in like September, which I think that's not too long ago, but fans were getting their vinyl immediately.
Yeah.
And I didn't get the vinyl, I couldn't afford it, but I
Right.
got just some of the smaller stuff, like the cards or whatever. But yeah, they said that it was delayed and be pushed back, and so I thought, okay, fine, whatever, I guess I'll just get it when I get it. But also my tour book. I bought the Kiss tour book, and I don't know where it's at.
Yeah.
It hasn't showed up either, and I know Rob, got his almost like, I think it was Rob, got his just like that. Meanwhile, I bought mine, and I haven't seen mine yet. So KOL, get on it.
Get it together.
Kiss Army Things wants to show your stuff on our channel, but we can't until we get it. So anyway, yeah, so that's pretty much it for this episode. Kind of a short hit and run, quick, nice, easy, chill, laid back episode.
Yeah.
If you guys are having a rough week or it's been really crazy and chaotic like it has been for us, this is our time to chill. It's been a crazy week around here, of course, with Halloween and all that stuff, and I'm sure you guys have been the same. So it's always nice to just take a moment to sit back and crack open a bottle of Moneybag soda with the wife and
Wow, that was
talk Kiss.
loud.
That was loud. I may edit that in case somebody gets their ears rung when
Yeah.
they're listening through headphones.
Headphone warning.
Like, geez, what was that? And that was Hell's Bells right there. No. All right, so I think we're going to go ahead and close this up. We will see you guys in the next one. I have no clue what the next one's going to be, but I can tell you right now that there will not be an episode on the 26th.
Absolutely not.
Because I will be coming back from Indianapolis and heading up to Rosemont. So there probably will be one on the 12th or the 19th, or at least a video of some sort. We'll see. But not the 26th.
Yep.
And then come December, we have the Christmas giveaway.
Ooh, yes.
We always
Stay tuned
do
for
a
that.
giveaway around Christmas time. And so this year is no different. Stick around for that. That'll be in December. Until then, thank you guys so much for wanting to listen to us talk about Kiss. There are so many Kiss podcasts out there, so many Kiss channels and Kiss pages. And I love the fact that we have so many people who, not just like and subscribe, but also they comment and they
Yes.
talk about...
We love your comments.
Yes, I love reading we discuss comments and we love, reading what you guys have to say. So, what do you guys think about Ace's new album? You're interested? You guys going to see Kiss on these last dates? Where? When? We want to know. We want to chat with you guys. That's why we do this. Otherwise, we would just do it ourselves,
Right.
face to face. But we want you guys in on the fun too. And so we're glad that you're here. I'm going to go ahead and close this up. And we will see you on episode 71 of the Kiss Army Things podcast. Until then, my name is Xander.
My name is Daphne.
Peace.